Okay, so before we go ahead and stretch the neck, I just want you to come back onto your bolster if you have it. Now, if you don't have a bolster, you can take a nice thick blanket and you can roll it up, okay, so that it looks like this. So let's just come on down here, and we're going to come with feet into a reclining, like a reclining butterfly, okay? So feet out in front. We're going to let the knees drop down. Take a block in your hand because you may actually need it. When we're thinking of our back next to the bolster here, allow about 15-20 centimeters of space here between your low back and the bolster. And then we're going to take ourselves all the way down. So if you find here that your head or your neck is too hyperextended, you can take the block or a pillow and just place it back here, okay? Now I like my neck back a little bit, but you do what feels good for you. And now once you get your back and stuff situated, you can take your arms just out to the side here. Now bring your attention to your fingers. So Yin Yoga is all about really just tuning into that moment in time. So a nice relaxed posture here. Relax your fingers. Let your knuckles just kiss the floor. And when you take your attention here down towards your feet, I want you to let your feet just relax so that the bottoms of the feet are together here, but nice and soft. And we're going to let the knees just fall down towards the floor. So once you get here, once you find that comfortable position, you're going to begin to incorporate your breath. So nice deep inhalations and nice deep exhalations. Here in this posture, we're going to really feel that opening of the chest, the opening of the hips here in this reclining butterfly pose. So in Yin Yoga, we don't encounter stretches that are, I'm not going to say they're active stretches, I guess, but they're not, doesn't require a lot of movement like a vinyasa class. So active, but not a whole lot of movement in flowing from one pose into another. Now, if you find here that your legs in this position is not comfortable, you can take your blocks and put here, or you can take a couple towels rolled up so that your hips or that top part of your outer thighs can kind of just sink down into the towel or into the blanket. You can really draw the eyes down. Relaxing the face and the cheekbones. Relaxing the lips. Really truly providing that openness in the chest and shoulders. Continue to breathe here. Really and truly take on what feels good. And also taking the time to discover and possibly working on what doesn't feel good. And that may require just a little bit of moving around, trying to get ourselves comfortable, or the use of more tools. Or maybe you're more comfortable just sending your legs out straight. Just play around with it. Let's take 5 deep rounds of breath here in this relaxed state. And now I want you to gently open the eyes. Just create a little bit of movement here in your fingers. And I want you to bring both knees together. Just come to whatever side, possibly your favorite side. And then we're going to come and just sit to a seated position here. So your variation of Sukhasana. So we'll take a little stretch here for the neck. We're going to take our left hand and we're just going to press it gently onto our shoulder. Now, as we do so, try not to draw inwards. Try to stay nice and lifted. And take your hand and place it so that the palm is facing up towards the ceiling. And as we gently press down onto that right shoulder, we're going to take our head and our neck and we're going to drop it into the opposite direction. So very important here not to stretch too far or any quick jerky movements. Just take your time, use your breath, and provide a little inward connection here to your belly button, moving in towards your spine. So just a slight lift in the pelvis. Relaxing your feet and your toes. Relaxing your fingers. No grip here, no strong grip on your fingers. We're here to resolve and release tension, not to create more. So feel a nice stretch here, all the way down your neck. Now from here, we're going to slightly tuck the chin down into the armpit. And then we're going to send that head just back a little further to the left. And we can take our gaze toward the wall or the floor. Breathing into the stretch. Only come to where it feels good for you. You may not have a whole lot of flexibility here in your neck. And maybe you're not used to doing these stretches a whole lot. So I encourage you to be careful and just take your time. And take 2 more breaths in. And out. In. And out. And now take your chin. Come back towards the center. Release that hand and bring it to the inside of that knee on the other leg. And now drop your chin down towards your chest. Stay nice and lifted here. And gently come on up. All right, we're going to go to the other side. Take your right hand, press it just gently into that left shoulder. Keep that palm facing towards the ceiling. Sitting nice and tall, lift that chest. And gently take the head and just drop it over into the opposite direction. Beautiful. Find that inner smile. Remember, this stretch should not be painful. Breathe through it. Only go as far to where you feel the stretch. And that all depends on your own flexibility here. Nice and light here on the fingertips. Keep that inward connection of your belly. One more breath. And release. And now take your chin, place it down towards that armpit, and just go a little deeper. And 2 nice more big breaths. And gently lift the chin, coming back to the center. Release that hand. Bring the chin towards your chest. and back up. And let's just create a little bit of movement here. Take your time. And back the other way. Nice and gentle. And back to the center. Let's just move our bolster here for a sec. Come over onto all fours. Just a couple cat-cows here. We're going to curl the toes and under instead of laying our feet flat. So drop the belly, take that inhale. And exhale, press your fingertips into your yoga mat and curl that tailbone down. Drop the belly. Take that breath. And exhale, curl. Drop the belly. And exhale. Come back to neutral spine. Take it all the way down to your belly. And from here, we're going to take that right leg in. We're going to let our forehead and let it just rest on that forearm. And I want you to press that quadricep deep, deep, deep into your mat. So we're going nice and deep here into the quad. Try not to grab onto that foot tightly. Try to keep it relaxed. So pressing that pubic bone into the earth and bringing that leg up to feel that stretch in the quad. Try and relax your shoulders here, guys, as much as you can. Relax that left leg that you're not stretching. Take a few deep breaths in here. And gently relax that leg down. Just move your hips from side to side here. Loosen it up a little bit. And let's go for that other leg. Taking it up. Press the forehead into that forearm. You want to move this leg around just a little bit and play with where you actually feel that tension. You can do that. Really press that pelvis into the earth, but as you do so, keep the shoulders nice and soft. The more we press that pelvis into the mat, the more that we're going to feel a nice deeper stretch in that quad. And keep that breath nice and slow and steady. And just 2 more breaths here in this pose. And a nice big exhale and release. Pressing into the hands, here we come once again. Take it all the way back here into Balasana. Just stretch at the shoulders here a little bit. Drop that forehead down. Resting that chest on the thighs. And really truly feeling grounded here in this posture. And gently taking your time, coming all the way up. Let's curl the toes and under, and let's just take a little downward facing dog here. So press the heels back into your yoga mat. Feel that nice little stretch there in the quads. And what we're going to do here, we're going to take that left leg, we're going to bring it up. I'm going to come down into a pigeon pose. Now, depending on how far this foot actually comes up, it's going to depend on your flexibility. So if your foot has to be back here on your mat, you're going to leave it there. If this foot comes up a little bit more, we're going to make sure that the shin is parallel to the mat, okay? We're going to slide this other leg back, and we're going to take it down all the way to the mat. If we can't get here, we have our bolster to use or a block. So just use what you have. If you don't have a block or a bolster, you have a blanket or a pillow, go grab that. So a nice little hip opening here, creating some space, more room here, creating more space, and therefore we can get more breath in and more breath out. Let that hip just drop nice and soft all the way down into your yoga mat. You find that this is hard on your knee, you can come down and you can actually come to, I'll show you, you can come to a reclining pigeon if you find that the other form is too much for you. So here's your reclining pigeon right here. That might be a better one if you have sore knees. They both work the same way, so no one really, not either stretch, is any better than the other. It's just finding what feels good for you. Remove all that tension out of your shoulders and your upper body. So just a couple more breaths here, guys, before we go and switch over to the other side. And gently pressing up, curl that toe in under. Walk it out here a little bit in downward facing dog. And we're going to come into the other side. I'm going to switch it around here. And we're going to take this other leg up. Shin parallel to the mat. This leg comes back. And we take it all the way down to the floor. Once again, if you want to rest on a block here, you have that option to do so. Stay connected here with your breath. It takes so much dedication to stay here, and I know we can get bored and all that because stretching, is just, it's not really fun. But when we realize that the benefits that stretching holds and can give to our body, we try to find that body-mind connection to help us stay here and be dedicated into each and every stretch. Just because we know how great it's going to make us feel. So if you want to come down a little bit further and remove that block, you can surely do so right here. Try not to let your belly collapse down. Keep that engagement. Always protect that low back. And breathe into that hip. And here we go. Gently pressing ourselves back up. And we're going to turn over, come over onto our back. Grab your bolster or your blanket. Come on and lie down. And let's just place the bolster. Just let behind our knees here. Let that rest onto the bolster, onto the blanket. Take your head back down. Let your arms and hands come to the side. Slightly lift your chest. Feel the connection of your heels, your low back, your bum, shoulder blades, just resting here, taking that time to discover how your body feels. And taking the time to slow down that breath just a little bit. To regroup, reset, recalibrate, whatever you want to call it. It's resetting for a new day tomorrow, new adventures, and all the things that we love to do. Bringing one hand to your heart and the other to your belly. Feeling the rise and fall of your breath. Discovering the calmness and clarity within your mind. And feeling that energy and reshift goodness into your body with this practice. I'm so glad you joined me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an even better day tomorrow. Until next time, take good care.